Welcome back to my second of 3 reviews today. So that's the rest of the matinee games. We've got 7 evening games coming up. So stay tuned. It's still busy today. I didn't do a news of the day video today. There wasn't really a whole lot going on. Plus, basically the news is all game related. So for that reason, I reviewed the first game of the day, which was Detroit and Chicago. Now we're getting into the next 3. All right, let's start things off with Buffalo in against Washington. I'm going to say this for Buffalo. This is a tough division, right? We knew this going into it. And they're showing a lot of fight. And even if Buffalo ends up with a story where we say, well, they missed the playoffs again, there's a lot to build on. And I think there's going to be some teams that have a lot to build on that do miss the playoffs this year. Hey, 16 out of 31 teams make the playoffs, meaning 15 don't. Some of the ones that don't, very disappointed and upset at the end of the year. Other ones will have, something great to look forward to. And I think Buffalo's got something great to look forward to. Starting with, it was Ullmark against Vanacek. And I thought both goaltenders played very well today and showed that the future in net for both teams is not too shabby. Caps with the early edge. They would end up getting that first goal. It's Justin Schultz. It was his first point as a Capital at 6:58. The Sabres, though, were ahead 8-3 in shots at 8 minutes. The interesting thing was, while they were ahead in shots, I still thought that the Capitals looked dangerous, and I still thought Buffalo was having some issue with the prolonged pressure. Vanacek looked a lot more comfortable in this game than he did in his first game of the season. As he's playing, he's getting better. So Samsonov, while he's not in there, the Capitals so far, they're honestly doing pretty well, considering the losses they're going through right now because of the COVID protocols. The Caps were hitting a lot in that first period, and part of that was how they prevented sustained pressure for the Sabres in that first period, though the Sabres did outshoot them. The Sabres get a power play. Vanacek stopped a nice shot from Cody Eakin, and there was a late push by the Sabres where they piled on the shots before the end of that first period. So we go to the second. Early on, the Capitals are the team that get the power play opportunity. Nick Backstrom had a chance that was stopped. He's had a very strong start to the season. Connor Sherry then missed wide at 5 minutes. Good chance for him that just misses. The Sabres then had a 2-on-1 that went wide as well. So just a little bit off. And then Ullmark absolutely robs Garnet Hathaway. Great chance for Hathaway, and Ullmark robs him. So the Sabres get a power play. And that power play looked really good today, or the Capitals' penalty kill looked bad. One or the other, or maybe a little bit of both. It is Colin Miller with the goal from Ristolainen and Mittelstadt at 10 minutes and 7 seconds. So Casey Mittelstadt gets into his first game of the year, and he gets a secondary assist. Then the Capitals get a power play pretty much right after that, and it's Oshie scoring on that one from Schultz and Backstrom at 11:51. So Schultz with a goal and an assist today for the Washington Capitals. The Sabres get a power play after that, and at 13:04, they tie it up again. It's Olofsson from Reinhart and Eichel. So that's 3 goals in less than 3 minutes. And keep in mind, I've been taking a bunch of notes, and I thought, I'm going to need the mini board, aren't I? I didn't quite need the mini board. I've only needed the mini board so far once this year. So Vanacek was facing and stopping a ton. The Sabres did get another power play after that one, which was not successful. And then Ullmark absolutely robs Panik. Panik has had a very good start to the season. So we go to the third period. The Sabres made their push at 3.5 minutes. They get a power play, and they score again. And it's Eric Stahl getting his second goal in, I believe, as many games. So he gets the power play marker from Ristolainen and Colin Miller, who had a very good game as well. Goal and an assist for him at 7:24. Then the Caps get a power play, because this is how this game was going. And they get it back. It's Backstrom from Vrana and Carlson at 9:28. So about 2 minutes between those goals, like there was 3 minutes between these 3. And that goal by Backstrom, fantastic. And shows he has really good instincts. He banked it in off the goaltender. He was behind the goal line. And there was only one option, try to bank it in off the goalie. And it worked. So actually a nice goal for Backstrom. Hall then gets a penalty shot, and he hits the post on the penalty shot. The Sabres, they jam the net with 7 minutes and 44 seconds left. Eichel was kind of ticked. Or no, not it was a jam at the Buffalo net. And what ticked Eichel off was he thought the puck was covered by Ullmark, and the referee should have blown the whistle. On the replay, you could see that Ullmark was posed as if he had the puck, but he didn't. It was loose behind him. So the referee was right not to blow the whistle. But it did cause a little bit of a scrum. We go to overtime. In the overtime, great back and forth action. Both goaltenders looked really good in the overtime. Ullmark absolutely robs Schultz. And then as an encore, he robbed Backstrom as well. So we had to go to a shootout. And the first shooter was Jack Eichel for Buffalo. He gets the winner. So they win it in a shootout 4-3 in Washington. Washington drops to 3-0-3. So they're undefeated in regulation through 6 games. For Buffalo, they've almost evened the record. They're at 2-3-1. So they're staying in this, much like Chicago in the Central. Buffalo's keeping it interesting. The shots favored Buffalo throughout most of this. 16-9 in the first, 19-9 in the second. Shots were 9-8 Washington in the third, and then in overtime. In 5 minutes, the shots were 5-4 for Buffalo. Final shots, 48-31. Power plays, Buffalo 3 for 5, Washington 2 for 3. If you didn't watch this game, you missed a really good game. Ullmark saves 28 out of 31. Vanacek saves 45 out of 48. He didn't get the 2 points, but he's the reason that they get the 1. So, yeah, Vanacek playing pretty well. Not too shabby. Next up, Toronto. So the Maple Leafs going into Calgary today, and I thought this would be a really good way to see how good is Calgary? Are they really, did they just look good against the Canucks? Because they had 6 days off coming into this. They've only played 3 games coming into today. Matthews coming into this one, this is the only team he hadn't scored a goal against was Calgary. He had 1 assist in his previous 7 games versus Calgary. And the early jump was for the Flames. However, 4 minutes in, the shots are 2 apiece. And Jack Campbell, right out of the gate, looked very good. And I've been a Jack Campbell fan for years now, and I haven't seen anything to sway me that I'm wrong on that early in the season. Muzzin scores from Marner and Riley at 7:46. Deflection off of a Flames player in front. So now the deflections go Toronto's way in this one. The shots were 6-2 for the Leafs with 7.5 minutes left. So remember, at 4 minutes, the shots are 2 apiece. They kept the Flames at 2 shots for the next 8.5 minutes. And then, what I'm asking was, did the 6 days off, did it hurt Calgary early? Leafs shot blocking, really solid defense from them as well. Campbell denied Mangiapane, and it's 1-0 Toronto after 1. We go to the second. First minute, the Flames get a power play. The Leafs then, they got a turn on their power play as well. Both goalies making some really nice saves. The Flames get another power play after that. And honestly, both penalty kills were pretty strong. Both Calgary and Toronto came into today with very good power play numbers. And while they both ended up with a decent percentage, could have been uglier. Monahan would score to tie things from Goudreau and Hanifin at 12:53. So that makes it 1-1. The Leafs then end up with a power play and a penalty by Lucic, which I don't think he was happy about that call. I think he felt that it at least should have been offsetting. Markstrom then denied Nylander, and then it's a power play goal. It's Simmons with his first in Toronto, and that's point number 500 for Wayne Simmons in his career. Marner and Riley with the assists at 19 minutes and 28 seconds. So Toronto in the last minute of the period take a 2-1 lead into the third. And in the third, relatively early, off of Rasmus Anderson's skate, right after it deflected off Austin Matthews as well. And I'm 99% sure it deflected off Matthews. If they change it and it's Riley's goal, oh well. But Matthews, his first goal against Calgary from Riley and Hyman at 2 minutes and 42 seconds. And then the Flames get a power play and they score on it. And it's Lindholm with the goal at 6 minutes and 33 seconds. That one looked like it ticked off of Tkachuk in front. This may have been changed to Tkachuk since I wrote it down. Last I checked in the app, it hadn't been changed to Tkachuk. It's okay if it does or it doesn't. It's still a goal regardless of who gets it, right? 3-2 was the score at that stage. Johnny Gaudreau had a chance then on a turnover from the Leafs. The Leafs pressed. Matthews had a chance. The Leafs get a 2-on-1. Now, Lindholm was the one that turned the puck over, and it was a 2-on-0. Lindholm turns it into a 2-on-1, and then he defends it nicely into the corner. So, bungled play by Lindholm, and then he makes up for it with the great defensive play at the other end. Flames get a power play. During that power play, there was a shorthanded 3-on-1 for Toronto, which ended up missing high, but because of the pressure that they were getting, they draw a penalty against Calgary, which turns it to a 4-on-4. They got a short power play as well. Nylander, close to 1 with 2 minutes left. Nylander, not on the board today, but again, notable around the net. Goaltender gets pulled with 1:50 left. Campbell then got shaken up. So what happened is it looked like he hyperextended his knee in his lateral motion across the front of the net. And then they dogpiled on the back of him after that. So at that point, Freddie Anderson puts on, starts getting a little bit of equipment on and asks Campbell, and Campbell says, no, I'm fine, I'll finish out the game. Because there was only 32 seconds left at the time that he was really kind of shaken up. He won't be playing in the next game anyways. It'll be Freddie Anderson's on Tuesday night when they have the rematch, and that should be fun. Toronto holds on and wins this one 3-2. The shots favored Toronto in the first and the second. 10-9 in the first, 14-11 in the second. In the third, Calgary outshoots them 13-8. Final shots 33-32 for Calgary. Power plays, both teams 1 for 4. Very evenly matched game. Campbell 31 saves on 33 shots for the win. Markstrom 29 saves on 32 shots in the loss. Jack Campbell, he's a pretty good goaltender. Not too shabby. All right, and last up, Vegas and Arizona, the 4th game in a row. So what we know, Vegas can beat Arizona. They can beat Anaheim. We don't know anything else yet, but they're moving on to St. Louis. So that first test of the season is upon us when they play the Blues. Now, I'm not saying this to say anything negative regarding Arizona. Arizona played a very good game. They played an Arizona game today. They don't quite have that finish. They weren't generating enough chances, and when they did, Marc-Andre Fleury had one of his standard great games. Early chances, the play favored Vegas. The Coyotes get a power play. While that was big news in the last game, not today. Solid penalty kill by Vegas. Kemper then denied Alec Martinez. Very good chance for Martinez there. The Coyotes get their second shot at 14 minutes into this game. Vegas already had 7 at that point. So Arizona having a very hard time getting through the defense and getting shots on Fleury, and Fleury stopped them when they did. Post then for Lawson Krause. It was a better second half of the period for the Coyotes, but again, they're still not generating enough. So we go to the second period. Haig had an early chance that was blocked for Vegas. Power play then for the Coyotes. Vegas then got their power play after that. Their power play ineffective as well. It is the one number that stands out for Vegas is that their power play has been a problem, but they were scoring at will their first, 4 games of the year they were scoring at will. It'll come around. I remember their first year, their power play was mediocre, and it didn't really hurt their record. Not at all. So, Kemper denies William Karlsson. Karlsson to get him back for that, right? The shots were 14-6 for Vegas overall halfway through this game. Vegas gets a power play in the second half of the period. It doesn't score. We go to the third period, tied at 0. Kemper, honestly, great game for Darcy Kemper. The only reason this one's scoreless, as long as it is both goaltenders. Fleury denied Kessel on the best chance of the game for Arizona, I believe. Coyotes pressing at 3.5 minutes, and they hit the post. So you could say, well, that's kind of luck then, right? No, because a shot off the post doesn't hit the net. They don't qualify as shots on net when they hit the post. That's why posts are tracked separate when you look at the advanced stats on the NHL site. They actually track how many posts a player's hit. It's always fun to see who's hit the most posts that year. And you go, it sounds about right. Brassard had a one-timer that went wide. Vegas with some near misses, and Coyotes doing a good job blocking shots as well. Not that Vegas wasn't too. Vegas was doing their shot blocking as well. Reeves was doing his standard chirping from the bench. Hey, if you can knock the team off their game by chirping at them a little bit, you do it. Karlsson, that line kept getting closer and closer, and you could sense that the William Karlsson line was the best line for either team in this game. Vegas had never, coming into today, had a scoreless game entering overtime. They put that on TV. I thought I'll throw it on the board. We'll see if it happens, and it didn't. Coyotes were neutralizing the top stars for Vegas. They were doing a very good job of that until the last minute, 43 seconds left. Marchessault with a great pass to Karlsson. Karlsson makes no mistake, gets his second goal of the season, and that's the only goal of the game, and that's your winner, obviously. So 1-0 score for Vegas. The goaltender gets pulled with 25 seconds left. They weren't going to score. It wasn't going to happen. So your shots, favor Vegas the whole way through. 10-4 in the first, 9-7 in the second. The trap takes over a bit in the third. 8-5 were the shots in the third in favor of Vegas. Final shots 27-16. 43 shots in this game, 89 in this game. So that's your difference right there. You go from 89 shots to 65 shots to 43 shots. So a little bit of a difference there in chances. Fleury saves all 16 that he faced for his 62nd career shutout. Kemper saves 26 out of 27, and both teams went 0-2 on the power play. So I've noticed, too, that it looks like I take a lot less notes on the scoreless games, but if you actually counted out all the notes, I take more notes on the scoreless games because these ones I have the goals to fill up the board, and these ones I don't. So just something I was looking at while I was going through these three games and seeing how this one's all the way to the bottom. There's space here in this one, not so much. This one, there's I could have drawn something in here. I didn't have to worry about running out of space like I did with this one. But anyways, there you go. 3 games in the books, 7 more tonight to go. Let me know your thoughts regarding these 3 games in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.